You'd be forgiven for not having a moment to notice, but this is a decade that is fast running out of time. The 2010s began with the unease of the consequences of the financial crash. They end with another dose of unease, this time both political and economic. Theresa May tried to win an election with the message that nothing has changed, and on the face of it those words could also sum up the last 10 years. We're back where we started. So when we reflect, what will we make of the 2010s? A decade where nothing much happened, or the decade that changed everything? Anxiety might well mark the bookends of this era, but during that time we have seen a series of seismic transformations, from social attitude shifts to technology revolutions, and everything in between. Throughout it all has been a perpetual seesaw, balanced between positivity and pessimism about the consequences of change. Right now, these appear to be tough days for those with positive dispositions. While paid-up members of Team Optimism have spent much time making the case that change has been great for the public good, there has been no shortage of gloom-mongers, despairing on issues from climate catastrophes to economic insecurity, competing to capture the public mood. And it's not hard to see where they are coming from, not least because, while people in previous decades faced many of the same challenges, this is one in which the free availability of technology has woken us up and made us hypersensitive to the consequences of such rapid change. In 2010, smartphones were the preserve of the privileged. By the end of 2020, there will be 3.2 billion worldwide, and the effect of this mass provision has been one of the biggest wake-up calls in history. The last decade has been one of widespread regime change, and the insurgency has been driven not so much by governments as by technology companies, which have largely replaced traditional industries as the most valuable entities on the planet. But with that power has come reaction, as yesterday's heroes, Uber and Facebook, to name but two, have been recast as today's villains. Few could have thought at the London launch of Uber in 2012 that this symbol of progress would find itself banned and banished just 7 years later. In the same way, the data scandal concerning Facebook and Cambridge Analytica would have seemed far-fetched, impossible, even, to a young and aspirational Mark Zuckerberg. It's a major disappointment for those who believed that these companies were the change the world needed, even worse if you had faith that the tech giants would only improve things. To some extent, they have lived up to the hype. While few can doubt the transformative effect of recent technologies, perhaps the most important legacy they leave to this decade is their role in accelerating social attitudes, lifting the expectations of people living in a digit. For more on this story, visit the news article link.